Yeah, we're up. We're live.
Woohoo!
Hey, Facebook and YouTube live. Welcome. Here we go.
We did it.
It's getting to be old hat. It's getting to be a regular thing. Just doing this remote broadcast thing. Hi, I'm Dino Tripodis, and welcome to another remote broadcast of Whiskey Business. We've been having a lot of fun going live with this as opposed to recording in my home and then airing a week later, which we still do. We still do that. But now with Facebook Live and YouTube Live, you get to kind of share the experience with us. And this is what we've been affectionately calling our pre-podcast, our pre-game, warming things up a little bit as we
priming the
pump before we get to our guests. And there's John Osbeck and Brian Stumplow and our buddy Chip as well, tuning in right from the get-go. We got some good guests tonight, which we'll be introducing here a little bit later. We're going to be a little whiskey-centric tonight with a couple of guys from M&O Spirits who'll be joining us. Our good buddy Jeff Gage will be joining us. I don't want to spoil it. I want to save it for the actual podcast, but we'll be focusing on our own Greg Hansberry for a portion of the podcast as well.
Is it kind of an award? It's an award, right?
I think it's the first one. I think it'd be the first one. I can say what the award is. Okay. And it's a good word for it, Johnny. An award. Hansberry will be the first recipient of the Stay-at-Home Mistake of the Week award. So,
I'm very honored.
Yeah, right. Yeah. You know, an award actually created by your stupidity.
By my jackassedness.
So we'll be doing that, and we'll have that on tap. Jeff Gage will be joining us, always entertaining and unpredictable. So hopefully we'll have some fun with everything. What else going on? Everybody healthy? It's been a week ago. Everybody good? I mean, aside from you, Hansberry, I know we'll get to you. You had some serious issues. Johnny, what about you? You good?
Yeah, good. The grass is coming in nice and green, and I've been out mowing. And
wow, that's it. When you actually see, you're staying at home when you can actually say, yeah, the grass is coming in green.
Literally watching grass grow.
When did you ever notice if your grass was coming in green on any given day of the week before all this? Right?
Never. Saturday morning, basically. Like, I look at it like, oh, I got to do something about that. Usually, that's what I do. So,
oh man, I'm going to take this opportunity while we're doing the pregame to smoke a cigarette. I've been trying not to smoke on the podcast as much.
Oh yeah.
I don't know why.
Well, you don't want to do the teas already, or no?
No. I'm gonna get ready. We're still just priming the pump, as they say.
All right.
But building the audience. People are just hanging out, maybe catching the evening news, and they're realizing, oh, Whiskey Business is live. So they're gonna be joining us briefly here.
Otherwise, there's Rick Andreessen.
We waited for Rick.
Now it feels like
it's official.
Yeah, I feel complete. No offense to Chip, Johnny, or Brian Stumpo, but Andreessen, he's a rare bird. He came up from Steubenville for the podcast awards last year, if you remember.
Yes. Yeah.
So we got to give him a salute, if you will.
Everybody on the watching now, share the stream, please. Share it.
Yes.
Try to reach as many people as we can.
Right. Saw that Ohio Bourbon Times shared that as well, and hopefully we'll drag some of his people in. Hey, Paulie, drinking some tequila, and that's right, it is Cinco de Mayo and Jeff Gage. It is Cinco de Mayo. Yeah. Let's get some Hellman's mayonnaise and just do it, man. Let's just go crazy with the mayo. That's it. That's Polly. Polly, you could do the. I still can't do the tequila. I can't. Bad experience.
That's the one that's crossed off your list.
Crossed off my list because of my dearly departed friend Vic Henley, who passed away a few weeks ago. Yeah. Hey, Kevin. Yeah, it was a tequila night with him that swore me off, and I woke up on my floor, not knowing how I got there, how I got home, and just felt the
Were your
worst
clothes on?
ever. Huh?
Were your clothes on?
Good question. Good question. Good question. But yeah, that was a bad drunk with the tequila, and Polly knows. Polly, if you're listening, you know we've had some bad drunks. Polly and I unintentionally did a scene from Friends. Yeah, we fell asleep in each other's arms in a drunken stupor on the couch. Yeah, woke up the next morning just all snuggled with each other on the couch. Best night of sleep ever. in Polly's arms, or maybe he was he's a little smaller than me, but hey, Ralph Scott.
Hey,
all right,
Ralph.
wow, we got all kind of fun people tuning in right out of the gate. All right, well, boys, whenever you're ready, we can kick this in gear, starting with the cold open and go from there. You ready?
Yep.
Okay. Hi, I'm Dino Tripodis. Tonight on the show, two guys who are helping us stay whiskey plentiful from right here in Central Ohio. Comedian Jeff Gage will be joining us for some hilarious fun. And for the first time ever during this stay-at-home pandemic, it is the first stay-at-home mistake of the week. All tonight on Whiskey Business.
Hey, you didn't tease M&O, dude.
I just said two guys
Oh, okay.
who are going to help us stay
gotcha.
whiskey plentiful.
I got you.
Okay.
Maybe I was half listening.
Yeah. I didn't say from M&O Spirits. I just teased who, two guys.
Okay.
So, okay. All right. The open. Here we go. Ready?
Yep.
Hi, I'm Dino Tripodis, and welcome to Whiskey Business, the podcast not so much about whiskey as it is one with whiskey. And my opening comments tonight go to not only the stay-at-home people who have been joining us here for the last few weeks, but more importantly, the working from home people. Those of you who have the benefit of staying gainfully employed, but have been told to work from home. It hasn't been that much different for me in the last year and a half. I have been working from home, and I got to be honest with you, it's been harder since the pandemic and the stay-at-home. Why? And I'll tell you why. And I say this with love and respect. It's because all of you are home as well. So I get phone calls and text messages and emails from those of you who are not necessarily working from home, but staying at home. And even if you are working at home, you have more free time on your hands. So we're communicating a lot. I'm used to you being at work in an office from 9 to 5. And then when you get home, contacting me and sharing your stories and humorous anecdotes about life, not from 7:30 in the morning till 11:30 at night. But for those of you who are working from home, this is a rhetorical question. You don't have to comment, but are you doing it successfully? Because I imagine for some people it's got to be harder. And I ran across an example of somebody whose stay-at-home work ethic has to be a little harder. About 6 to 9 months ago, I was visited by 2 Jehovah's Witnesses. This is not a joke, even though it sounds like a setup for one. 2 Jehovah's Witnesses came to my door. 2 of the nicest gentlemen, sincerely, that I ever met. Now, I am baptized Greek Orthodox, and I have no desire to change my religious convictions. But these 2 gentlemen were very polite. And at the time, like everybody else, I sincerely did not blow them off and didn't slam the door in their face. I was nice because they were nice. And I said, I don't have time to talk to you today. And I said, maybe some other time. Well, there were a couple of other times. And this is legitimate. They actually would come to my house when I was pulling out of the driveway or actually had someplace to go. And they smiled and they were nice. So we'll come back another time. And honestly, a couple months went by and I hadn't heard from them in a while. And now with stay at home, they obviously can't go knocking door to door to see if I'm available because of safe distancing. So what are they doing? I'll tell you what they're doing. I got an actual handwritten 2-page letter from one of them who took the time to check in on me and ask me how I was doing through all of this. Yes, he put in some of his, for lack of a better word, sales pitch in there and said that he hopes that once this all passes, that he'll be able to come and sit with me on the front porch because I said, yeah, we'll sit on the front porch and I'll hear you out. And you know what? When it's all said and done, I want to sit down and I'm going to talk to him. The man has put in his work. And I think just out of sheer respect for that work ethic, I will give that particular man his time to try to convince me that I need to go maybe not so much another way, but a different way in respects to my convictions. So if you're working at home and you're making it work for yourself somehow, good for you. Once again, I am Dino Tripodis, and welcome to Whiskey Business, the podcast not so much about whiskey as it is one with whiskey. Tonight, our guest bottle will be from the 2 gentlemen who I mentioned are helping us stay whiskey plentiful. I always do this wrong. This is from M&O Spirits in Asheville, Ohio. We'll be talking in just a little bit with the 2 gentlemen responsible, Doug McLaughlin and Mike Orozco, will be joining us on the podcast to talk about how they have concocted this little spirit. At a time, they're fairly new to the business. They've entered this field at a really tough time with everything going on, but they will be joining us. Oh, so this is the guest bottle. Yeah, the M&O Spirits Smoke American whiskey.
Ooh.
It's young. It's a young whiskey. It's a youngin'. But we'll talk about some of the, as you can see, I've already tasted and experimented with some of the, so I know from whence I speak. So they'll be joining us. Jeff Gage will be joining us, and of course, joining us each and every week, the 2 gentlemen who I could not do this without, John Whitney up in my left-hand corner, and there he is, Greg Hansberry. I mentioned earlier that this would be the first, and I think we're going to make it weekly. I think we can stretch and find other examples. I think so. Maybe not so much with you, but you definitely. I
hope to God not.
You definitely get to lead it off. Greg Hansberry, ladies and gentlemen, audio producer, John Whitney, video producer. But Greg Hansberry is our stay-at-home mistake of the week.
I got to up my game, man. Let's hear the story. Come on.
Once again, a rhetorical question for all of you to consider in the weeks to come. What really asinine, stupid thing have you done while you've been staying at home? What ridiculous thing that you would have never done, if this was a normal life that we had been leading prior to this? And Hansberry, when I got the text from you, I said, oh my God, tell the people what you were attempting to do and why.
Well, it ended with 6 staples to the skull.
6 staples to the skull.
Yes.
All right.
I was just abiding by Dr. Amy Acton and Governor Mike DeWine's rules, saying to go out, enjoy nature, enjoy the parks, enjoy the time outside. It just didn't go as well as I planned.
Yeah. What were you doing?
Well, I actually I have a video. You guys, Johnny, can you share this screen of mine?
I can.
Yeah, here we go. Ready? All right, here we go. Okay, this is actually me. Here we go.
Oh, really? Wow, look at that.
Yeah, that was actually really me. That was.
That was not you.
That was not me.
That was not you. But you did have a skateboarding
accident. I was out with the boy, out with my kid. I got a 7-year-old son. We were biking, and he was biking. I was skateboarding. And I mean, it was like a sitcom. I was going downhill on this gravelly path, and just like a sitcom, there's a tiny little shitty dog comes running out of nowhere. It spooks me, and I do a somersault forward, and the back of my neck slams into a fence post.
Oh,
actually, in here I do have. I do actually have some serious photos. Let me find some pictures here.
You have photos.
I've actually photographs
at the scene of the accident or in the hospital.
All right, here's one, Johnny. This is me in the back of a squad car.
Got the mask on.
Yeah. They made sure to mask me up.
At a time where people are doing everything in their power to avoid going to the hospital, you just kind of offer yourself up on a silver platter to go to the emergency room.
You know, I didn't plan on it, obviously.
Hey, Greg, did you know that I actually got some footage from your accident? It was somebody's cell phone.
Somebody else said, good.
Somebody's cell phone. You want to see it? You guys want to see it?
Yeah. That's me. That's me. You see my son walking in the background?
Oh man,
that's actually me. Yeah.
You know what? If your boy hadn't been with you, I could have seen that in your reaction. So you have 6 staples in your head.
All right, here, show the staple picture here, Johnny. If you could share my video or my picture, there it is. There's 1, 2, yeah, nice and bloody.
Yeah.
So
I would say that they probably did a concussion protocol, but probably didn't need to because they didn't need to. You have a concussion.
No. So I get on the squad car, and he's like, "You're gonna need staples, dude." And my blood pressure started going through the floor. So he's like, "We're gonna take you in." I'm like, "No, I'm good." And my blood pressure just keeps plummeting. So they go, "No, we're taking you in." So they took me in, and this was like straight out of an episode of ER. George Clooney was there. Stat, da 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 da. So I'm on the table, and they start taking my shoes off, and I'm like, "Oh man, I didn't clip my toenails today. Oh man!" And then they cut my shirt off. I'm like, "Ah, damn, that was my shirt." And then zip, they start taking off my pants. I'm like, "Oh man, I hope I manscaped today," which I didn't. I was completely naked, laying there on the table
for a head injury,
fucking cut in the head. And then they don't. It is protocol. Then I'm all wired up and everything, and then they don't even like give me any anesthesia or anything. And I get 6 staples to the head. You already saw the staples.
Boom, boom.
Dude, it was like you know that scene in 40-Year-Old Version with Steve Carell getting things. It was like just like that. It was the most painful thing I've ever experienced in my life, and I'm just sitting there laughing as loud as I possibly can because of the agony. It was miserable.
Having had 2 concussions over the course of my career, it sucks. It sucks really. And I've told you to lay low. I told you the second day was going to be worse than the actual day of injury because your body's still in shock and you've got all the adrenaline. But once all that starts to subside and everything starts to settle in, ow.
Yeah, yesterday and this morning was tough.
Right.
I did get a doctor's note.
Is this to excuse you? No whiskey business shenanigans from your doctor.
Yeah.
So I take it you're not drinking this evening, right?
I've got my ginger ale. I mean, honestly, I feel like I've got the worst headache of all time. So I'm gonna wait at least till the weekend.
That's probably wise.
Yeah.
Johnny, you drinking?
I am. I actually have my bottle of M&O when I went to go visit them on Saturday, and I don't have much left. Look at that.
Yeah,
you.
well, you got a hold of your
I'm
bottle
number 3.
earlier than me. So
Yeah.
But I'm looking forward to talking to the boys about their whiskey in just a little bit. Hansberry, continued rest and recuperation and get better. And I'm glad you're able to join us tonight.
And I'm really proud to be the inaugural Mistake of the Week award winner.
You are the stay-at-home mistake of the week. How much shit did your wife give you?
Yeah, she was pretty pissed.
Yeah, pretty pissed.
Dude, I'm
pretty
pissed.
Well, wait till I get the ambulance bill. Then, dude, she's not going to talk or touch me for a month.
That is right. You have to pay for that. Oh.
It's a lesson learned.
Yeah.
It's like, how old are you?
Let me do this business. I'm 36. Come on.
36.
I'm 16 36. At heart.
That's like me at 61 going, you know what? I've never ridden a unicycle before, but maybe I'll try it for the first time in traffic and see what happens.
Right.
Same thing.
Come on. Now's the time to be alive. Get out there and experience life.
Time to be alive and try to kill myself.
If you're not trying to kill yourself, are you really living?
That's right.
Tomorrow I'm gonna go out and start dodging Coda buses, which might take a while because the routes have changed and they're not running as frequently. So it may take a while.
All right.
Let me get real quick before we get to our guest. Go ahead.
While you're suffering from quarantine fatigue, subscribe to Whiskey Business on your favorite podcasting app. Then also subscribe on YouTube. Whiskey Business has the unedited video versions available. Whiskey Business with Dino Tripodis. Click on the little subscribe bell right there, and you'll get notifications whenever we have a new episode go live. If you're on Facebook right now, thank you very much. Make sure you like us and friend us and share this link. Thank you. But also you can find all of this at whiskeybusinesspod.com, our newly designed website. It's got all that stuff, plus our shots and whiskey wisdom shots and other fun content up there. Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and share with all your whiskey loving, skateboarding knuckleheads like me.
There you go. I want to thank those who are tuning in on Facebook Live. A bunch of our fellow drinkers and listeners: Paul Anthony, Rick Andreessen, Brian Stumpo, John Osbeck, our good buddy Chip. Ralphie Scott is taking a night off and joining us. And the one lady in the mix right now is Sarah Miller, who joined us as well. So thank you, everybody. Happy Cinco de Mayo. Probably not the one that we're accustomed to or used to. I guarantee you that if everything was normal, we'd be podcasting tomorrow night as opposed to tonight, because we'd all be out celebrating as well. So thank you so much for spending some of your Cinco de Mayo with us. As we get to our first guests for the evening, Jeff Gage coming up in just a little bit. But right now, I mentioned two guys who are helping us stay whiskey plentiful right here in Central Ohio, as we welcome Doug McLaughlin and Mike Orozco from M&O Spirits. There they are, sipping around. Sure, gentlemen. Yes. How you doing, Dino? We're good, Doug. Hi, Mike. Welcome to the podcast. Nice to have you here. Thank you for the bottle of smoke, by the way. That is our guest bottle this evening as well, I might add. The double distilled American whiskey. I got to be honest with you. Whenever I come across a youngin' like this, because this is somewhere right around 2 years of age, I always say, you know what? Come back when you grow up and get a little older. But I gotta say, lots of interesting notes in the nose. Very fruity, very flavorful, and a pretty smooth finish. Not as much of a lasting finish as I'm accustomed to, but it's 2 years old. But this, my friends, is an excellent beginning to whatever M&O Spirits is supposed to start. So congratulations on a very, very, very tasty and drinkable American whiskey. Very nice. So how'd this one come about?
Thank you so much for the compliment. That's awesome. So Smoke was our first whiskey that we developed back when we started figuring this whole thing out. We we were out in a bar somewhere in St. Louis, I think, and we were trying to figure out something to do to get out of what we were doing. So I'm like, how hard do you think this stuff is to make? Because we were sitting at a bar drinking some bourbon. And so that started the whole process. And then from that point on, it took us about 2.5 years to figure out the mash bill and to settle on what we wanted that flavor to be like. From that point on, we consider that our R&D stage as we went through the whole process. And then in 2017, we got our distiller's license, and we've been distilling since early 2018.
So like I said earlier on in the podcast, relatively young to the game of making whiskey.
Now the smoke, go ahead.
No, you go ahead. Go.
The smoke is it's a double distilled whiskey. It's a 4-grain mash. It's got 58% corn, 17.5% barley, 14% rye, and 10.5% red wheat.
Red wheat.
It's double distilled, and then when it goes into the new oak charred oak barrel, so it's technically a bourbon mash. But when it goes into the charred oak barrel, then we add 10 smothered staves into it at the same time. So we're double oaking it right at the top.
I gotcha.
But those smothered staves, that's what gives us the smoke finish.
I was going to ask where the smoke came
American
from.
Whiskey.
I gotcha. Yeah. So as I noticed that you lay claim to being the master distiller. Doug, if you're the master distiller, Mike, where do you come? Where do you, are you have anything to do with the creation of the whiskey?
No, he won't let me touch anything.
All right, so how do you two come together as M&O to make this product? And I'm addressing this more to Mike on your side. Mike, how did you say, okay, I'm in?
When Doug started talking about he thinks he could make this, I literally went like this, like, well, what's it going to take to get started? And then ever since then, I'm the O of the M&O. He still has his name first on it, but
it's alphabetical.
I still fund it a little bit.
It's alphabetical. So
hold on. I can't help but notice that Doug and Mike remind me a lot of the two EMT workers who picked me up with all the equipment and the outfit. You guys, where's your face masks, guys?
Hansberry's probably hallucinating a little bit. That's the concussion talking. How much of the budget has gone into the fine looking shirts you both are wearing? Those are that right there. That's a pretty penny right there. You know,
we each got one shirt and we have to wash it, and then we each got one. We can only afford one at a time.
Now, Mike, you jokingly said that you just reached back into your said, what's it going to take, how much, and so forth. But when we've had these conversations with distillers who are just starting, I mean, obviously, to get to the point where you're making whiskey, distributing whiskey, and that whole process involved, it takes a relatively pretty penny. So if Whitney and Hansberry and myself decided to one day collectively say, you know what, we keep talking about whiskey, let's make some whiskey.
We'll do it.
What was the very, very, very first step from an affordability standpoint that got you into the process of making whiskey? What was that very first thing that you bought that says, we're going to need this to start and it costs this much?
The technical term would be the R&D stage.
Are we talking about the R&D stage?
If you want to call it the R&D stage, I'm going to call it the how much is this going to fucking cost to get going stage.
Okay, so once we got the building and we started the build out, the whole R&D stage was in my basement. Maybe. But that was the learning stage. That was the whole 26 batches to figure out what we wanted it to be. But once we got the DSP going, which is
the DSP
license,
okay,
the distiller's license from the federal government, that's at the point where now you start distilling legally in your place of business. So to get to that point, we were at about we started small. We started with a 50-gallon still and 50-gallon mashes at a time. So everything is very small batch. To get to that point, we're probably at about $150,000 just to get to that point. Probably closer to 200,000 once you add up all the lease payments and all the stuff that it costs to run the building. So my retirement is invested in this business.
Okay.
So
yeah. Now your retirement is invested in this business. Are you? And I apologize if I'm being disparaging in any way. Are you considerably older than your partner here? And Mike, is your retirement invested in this whole process as well?
I'm 52, but I feel like I'm 80.
Uh-huh.
And Mike, what do you?
I turned 50 this year, so this is our retirement. Yes.
Yeah, this is it. So you guys have gone full, put the whole nut in. I mean,
where they're going to be in 14 years. It's going to be awesome. Then you have
I admire that.
Whiskey, you're going to have an established brand.
But just for the sake of argument, I mean, you guys are doing something obviously that you both love to do. And Doug, aside from loving bourbon and loving whiskey, when you took on the responsibility of developing a mash bill and coming up with, the proper ingredients you think that would make a tasteful and appealing whiskey that people would love to buy, dear God, I mean, that's a huge risk. That's a huge risk. What if after, you said 26 attempts, if I remember correctly, what if after 26, what if after 30 attempts, you discover, like, I suck at this. I can't do it. As much as I want to, I suck. This is the worst shit ever. What are we going to do now?
That's when you close the wallet.
That's when you close the wallet, right?
Well, at least you could drink the byproduct and not remember your
there you go.
Remember anything about your retirement. So
we started off with a tasters club. The first few rounds through the whole R&D stage, we started short with a few people, a few friends, close friends that we could trust with sampling our product and getting some feedback from them.
You went with friends, or you went with strangers?
We went with friends, and then we went with their friends. So we reached out to the next level, but you still have to keep it kind of close knit because R&D in Ohio is probably frowned upon.
Yes,
it's probably frowned upon.
Quite. Yeah.
So maybe you should call it R&D. Maybe you should just call it a party and not have to worry about it. Yeah.
Early retirement.
Yeah.
As that Tasters Club grew, it ended up in front of people's whose opinion we valued. And we finally got to a stage where we felt the product we were making was worthy of our name.
Okay. Fair enough. And before you got into this world, what were you both doing prior to this? And are you still doing it in order to supplement and pay the bills and whatnot? So what do you guys do? What'd you do before this, and are you still doing it?
So we work together. Well, I'm an audio engineer. Mike, we both work in video production. So I'm an audio engineer. Mike is anything and everything you need to make a production happen. So he works script, lighting, gaffer, electric, anything. But for the past 20 years, we've worked together doing shoots and film stuff and video shoots and all kinds of stuff. So that's why we're on the road all the time doing stuff. So that's why we ended up in a bar somewhere out in St. Louis thinking about how do you make this stuff? Is because after a 14, 15-hour day, we're sitting there trying to catch some food and drinking some good bourbon, trying to figure out what's our next step after this. So
Yeah.
And they had 150
That's how
grand
we-
to squeeze together. That's surprising.
right.
Yeah, wow. Congratulations.
And Dino, that's how I found out about these guys.
Speaking from audio and video
mutual
guys.
our mutual friend Wayne Sells knows these guys.
Okay.
And
so,
Wayne was like, you should talk to these guys. They have a company called M&O Spirits, and they're making their own whiskey. I'm like, well, 2 guys in production?
yeah, right.
Sound guy?
So prior to this, you
Their
guys
cords
were
are so nice and dressed so well.
I know.
so you were doing for other people what we do collectively and creatively in the community as well. So we're all what you're saying is, and this is me taking liberties. What you're saying is that John Whitney, Greg Hansberry, and I need to go on a shoot in St. Louis, get drunk in a bar, and say, "Oh no, we should make whiskey." Yeah. So who's got $150,000? I used to. I don't have it anymore. If you-
alternatives. So.
What's that? Yeah. All right. I tell you what. Let me say hi to some people who have just joined us. My daughter is saying hello, and Chip wants to know where we can find the guest bottle. Let's before we get up and take a little tour of the place. Can we do that? Can we get a little snapshot of what you got going on there? Can we get a little sneak of the distillery? This is the M&O Smoke. It is not the only product they have available there at M&O. They've got, much like a lot of distilleries that start off, they make their own vodka, and they also have hand sanitizer as well. Good, hopping on that as well. You got your own vodka. Vodka pays the bills right out of the gate because it doesn't take anything to. I mean, it takes obviously some love and some effort, but you can put the vodka out real quick and pay the bills.
One of the other products that we make that's it's also won a gold medal in a national competition is the Tada, which is it's a white whiskey. It only ages for 3 hours in a toasted oak cask, but it's made from red wheat and malted barley. But it has it's called Tada because it's sweet like tequila, smooth like vodka. So Tada.
Ta-da!
Ta-da.
But also, are you ready in 3 hours? So, ta-da!
And
Something to drink.
Yes.
That's what I thought.
And it's,
Yeah.
and it's
I see the
90
vodka,
degrees.
I see the smoke, the ta-da, and the, what is that? Pumpkin
Pumpkin
what?
spice holiday spirit.
Very nice.
Oh, wow.
It's made from our bourbon mash, but we add 26 pounds of pumpkin to that mash, and then we ferment it out, distill it twice, and then age it. We're not allowed to call it anything except a spirit because it has fruit in it. So, but it's an excellent whiskey that drinks like a whiskey, finishes with pumpkin and spice. So
Very nice.
It's not like a latte. It's an actual whiskey that's really smooth that finishes with pumpkin and spice. Our vodka is pumpkin. Our vodka is potato vodka. And the way we distill it, we get rid of that medicinal smell, and we get rid of the crazy, nasty aftertaste most vodka has. So it's a very everybody that's tried it is very impressed with how it drinks and how it finishes.
I know that this is available at a couple of our favorite liquor establishments here in Central Ohio, over at Chateau Spirits over on Polaris Parkway, and also at Wylands in Clintonville, Giant Eagle stores in Grandview, and of course they can come down there and pick it up as well down in Nashville.
So we're right now, since we just started selling our products in July of 2019. So if it's not in a place where you buy your whiskey, please request it and ask for it. That will start a question and answer process for me that we can actually get into more venues. So right now we're in 7 locations, 7 agencies, and that's our next step. Right now it's really hard to market with this COVID-19 thing going on. So if people could ask for it, that would actually help us.
Like I said, you're entering this world at a tough time. I mean, you entered it before this all happened, but in order to expand and grow your product and your line, this is a tough time. So we're happy to lend some support. Let's take a quick look around before we get to our friend Jeff Gage, who's coming up here in just a little bit. So why don't you take us around, give us a little tour of what we got going on there. And Brian Stumpo says, Dino, I believe we've already discussed this idea. Yes, Brian Stumpo and a couple of other friends from the Italian Club, we've actually talked about starting our own whiskey brand. Yeah, we have not to leave Hansberry and Whitney out, but we have discussed it. All right, what we got, Doug? Show us where we're at. Show us where we're at. There's Mike. Let's see how this works.
Mike's camera's muted. I don't know if that's on you.
Maybe you should just stick with Doug's. Is Doug's a laptop or is that a phone?
There we go, the laptop. No, do the phone, and you can go on a little adventure. But Mike, your camera's muted.
Right. So we really can't. Yeah, flip that camera. Live TV.
Jimmy Fallon.
Okay,
Jimmy
can you hear
Kimmel.
me now?
There we go. They have
I
the beauty of editing all this and taking out all the stuff. But
So
here we go.
Everything,
All right.
everything we do at M&O is small scale. So it's 50 gallons at a time. We've got 2 mash tuns going on here.
Right.
So everything's and then once we've done mashing, we transfer to our fermentation. Our fermentation is done in 50 gallons at a time.
Can you see it?
Nice.
And then
I
we're
can
done
smell
fermenting,
it. I can
transfer.
smell it from here.
Yes.
Once we're done fermenting, we move on to the still. We distill it out. Once we so every 50-gallon mash that we distill out, we get about 14 gallons out. We collect 3 or 4 of those. We put it back in, distill it out again. Some of our stuff is distilled.
How's your framing?
Some of our stuff is distilled twice. Some of it is distilled 3 times. Some of it is distilled 4 times. But at the end of that process, then we go into our aging process, which goes into our rick house, which is back here.
You got your own little rick house.
This is all the money-making process right here that's just sitting here waiting to go. But and we just bought a 200-gallon still. We're waiting on for delivery for the 200-gallon still, and that's going to increase our production 4 times. So we're going to go from 1 barrel every 2.5, 3 weeks to 1 barrel every week. So it's going to really increase what we're doing here. So we're excited about that.
Excellent.
But we'll head back to the camera.
This is cool. It's
How many hours a day you guys in that joint? How many hours a day are you spending there?
I'm down here about average 50 hours a week down here making whiskey, doing the process, and then I'm still doing shoots to supplement because we just don't have enough agencies yet to make.
I gotcha.
So we're still, I'm still trying to make money on the side here. So, but other than that, I'm down here 50, 60 hours a week making the product.
When this quarantine stuff is over, do you have like a tasting room? I know, John, you went down there. Can you go and check it out and hang out and get a tour and stuff? I
mean, when I was there, we had social distancing, and I tried some of their whiskeys, and we tried their vodka, and it's very nice. It's
still open. You could go now.
We're here.
Yeah.
All right, we're gonna not wrap things up with you completely, but we're gonna take a little break from you guys, and I want to tease everybody with a little sampling that I have here. When John Whitney dropped off my bottle of smoke, he dropped off a little bit of this, and I took some from that bottle right there, which is not yet available from what I understand, but will be. We'll discuss this little concoction, the big secret that's coming up a little bit later when we come back to you guys, okay? We'll find out what this is all about because this knocked my socks off. That's all I'll say right out of the gate, okay? So sit tight for a little bit. Enjoy my friend coming up here in just a moment. Doug McLaughlin, Mike Orozco. We'll be back with you guys in just a little bit as we welcome to the podcast, ladies and gentlemen. He's been on Whiskey Business by himself, along with my friend Jake Anarino. He's been a frequent guest on The Premise, which we do at Shadowbox Live, and I hope that we get back to doing that at some point and actually get to experience the amazing improvisational comedy of our good friend, Mr. Jeff Gage, everybody. Jeff Gage.
Hooray, hooray.
Funny man, comedian, gagster, and humorist is what John Whitney decided to put underneath there. How are you, buddy?
I'm good, thanks. I just wanted to ask Emmanuel if you could go over those third quarter sales projections
Emmanuel?
To fill up a adult diaper brand that we're working. Am I on the right? Is this the Zoom conference call that we're doing for? I think I'm on the wrong thing here. What is this? Oh, this is whiskey business.
Yes, it is.
Oh. Whiskey business. What'd you think it was?
I thought it was the Fill 'em Up adult diaper board meeting.
Yeah, let's table
I think that's right after this.
Yeah. Yeah, right. You're very busy man. I know. Yeah. Working from home, it gets very confusing as to where you're supposed to go and what you're supposed to do next.
I'm on so many boards, you know. It's the only way we can get together. It's I know. Adult diapers you shouldn't make fun of, because I always say attorneys are like adult diapers, you know. They're easy to make fun of until you actually need one, and then it's not so fun. So
yeah,
adult diapers is a strong market right now, I hear.
Yeah.
Dino's in the market.
You don't really need them because everybody's staying at home anyway, so you can just shit yourself at your leisure, you know. And
that is true.
Who are you gonna offend?
You know, it's interesting. It's interesting. You know, we joke about the adult diapers, but I wonder how many people have just completely relaxed themselves. And no, seriously. How many people have relaxed themselves and just experimented? Like, I don't have to leave the house. I don't have to go anywhere. You know what? I'm going to buy an adult diaper just for fun.
Yeah.
And I'm going to see what it's like to pee on myself a little bit and see how it works. just for a future test to see.
Do you know how much have you had to drink?
I've been drinking since 2 p.m. Just for the record. Okay. All right. I've been drinking there. I've been drinking the M&O. Yeah. Just another day. So Jeff, seriously, it's something that we've been asking people since we've been doing the remote broadcast. Yeah. How are you functioning and dealing with stay at home?
I'm doing okay. I mean, you know, you only go out when you absolutely have to, and it's the only time where you can actually go into a store wearing a mask and sunglasses and gloves, and nobody. It used to be that would automatically socially distance people from you. Everybody would run. It's like, oh God, what's happening here? But people aren't adhering to this, right? They're still getting right up on your ass. You know, you have to turn around and literally like cough on somebody to get them to back up. It's
right.
I don't know what the problem is, but
do you find it? When you do go out, say to the grocery store or the pharmacy, do you find it eerie? You know, when you go, a little creepier than it used to be.
Yeah, it is. It's just a different world that we live in, you know? And so, you know, like even this podcast, I mean, I know we're socially distancing, but I was wondering if I should wear a mask because I'm within 6 feet of my computer.
It hasn't got, if it gets that bad where, you know, you can no longer, you can only have, no more than 6 people at a time on a remote podcast, you know, when they start limiting social gatherings.
I noticed I've been paying attention more to my oral health, because when you got that face mask on, you're walking around on the grocery, you're like, that's what my breath smells like. Okay. Yeah. All right. And even when it doesn't smell bad, you're like, that's just what my normal breath smells like. Okay. And so
that's where the whiskey comes in handy.
That's right.
Right. It's like mouthwash, a little oaky mouthwash.
kills all those bacteria that.
And I like the reference
Exactly.
you made before. You're wearing sunglasses and a mask. If somebody were to actually try to rob someplace and the police come, do you have a description? Well, he was wearing a mask. Like,
Yeah.
yeah. You're gonna have to, and that doesn't narrow it down very much, does it?
Well,
So-
they'll just compliment him. Oh, well, at least he was a conscientious robber. Yeah. Looking out for everyone's safety.
Oh,
Yeah.
So what does your day consist of? Tell me what a day in the life of Jeff Gage at Stay at Home is all about.
I get up and I check my emails.
What time do you get up? What time do you get up the same? Do you get up the same time that you normally used to get up?
Yeah, I get up
or later.
I didn't at first. You know what? I did when we first started this whole thing. The first 3 weeks, I kind of took it as almost like a vacation, which I shouldn't have, but I did because I had booze at home and I was drinking. It's like I don't have to get up tomorrow, So, but lately I've been getting up because I am a realtor, even though the market's kind of at a standstill. It's
I was going to get to that, but we'll continue.
Yeah. But you still work on aspects of your business, websites and email and keeping in contact with your clients and just trying to make sure everybody's okay. There's basically, and watching the news to find out what's going on. I think we're all probably obsessed with that to the point where it's sickening. And now I try not to watch it,
How much, I'm curious, how much do you watch and how much do you digest and how much, and who's next to a train?
That's not me.
M&O.
M&O Railroad is got the train whistle.
they are right next to the train tracks.
Yeah, how much are you paying attention to, and how much are you digesting, and how do you
get those news feeds on your phone? So it's like every time something comes up, you look at it. It's like, oh God, I can't believe that idiot said that. So you just look at things, and I try to separate myself from it now, because you only need the information that you need, right? And which is for my wife, who's a hairstylist, it's very important too, because her business is shut down. So we're very conscientious of what the governor's saying when they're going to allow certain businesses to reopen, whether it's safe or not to do that, So everybody's making their own assessments. Obviously, everybody's now a virologist, so
sure.
Amateur.
We've made some jokes about hair. Hansberry always seems to be nicely groomed. Whitney's wearing a hat this week. Mine shit's out of control. So by you having a hairstylist at home, there's no danger of you being ungroomed. Nice. There's no excuse. There's no excuse for you.
Yeah. Nice job, buddy.
Oh,
yeah,
thanks.
right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. She does a great job, I think. Yeah.
Right. So you're her only client now.
Right now, yeah, unfortunately for her.
Yeah.
Do you tip well?
I get it. Yes, I do. I tip very well. I cooked dinner today.
There you go.
So let me ask you this. I know you're in the real estate business, and you mentioned earlier that's changed as well. And we have some friends that are listening on Facebook Live. Sarah Miller's in the real estate business, and I believe some of the other people that have been listening are. It's how does that world changed? I mean, are you still doing open houses? Are you still taking people through places? People still want to buy a house or sell a house.
Yeah.
So
money's
how
still cheap.
How's that changed?
Everything's virtual, just like what we're doing, just like this, your podcast. Instead of having everybody around a table, everybody's doing remotes. We're seeing virtual open houses. They've stopped doing open houses. So you can't have more than, a certain number of people. And a lot of sellers don't want a bunch of people in their house.
Right. At this point, I get that.
So,
but if I'm buying a house and I'm serious about it, I don't think a virtual tour. I could take the virtual tour prior to actually seeing. It's the virtual tour that makes me want to go see the house in person, right?
Right. Exactly.
Okay, so I can still do that at some point if I'm really serious. Like I really want to buy this house, but I kind of want to walk through it myself.
Oh yeah, you want to put your own eyeballs on it and look around and get a feel for. And there's things that you see there that you don't see on a video. Obviously, it's
go through the pantry.
Yeah. So it's just a whole shift in the way the markets. People are doing transactions now, even from the closings. I mean. Some people are having their closing packages mailed to them and signing them and sending them back. So as opposed to going over it with an attorney present, So it's difficult. We'll get through it. Markets always change. It's just how we adapt. You have to improvise.
Improvise, yeah, which is what you do, and which I want to get to in just a second. I want to comment. Yeah. Amanda Wood, I like the hair, Dino. It's a Mandy Patinkin Homeland look, which is what I was going for.
Yeah.
And you,
speaking of Mandy Patinkin, you are a song and dance man, too.
Yeah, whatever, song and dance man.
That's right.
That's very funny, Amanda. Thank you.
That's flattering.
Sarah says the closings are happening in their vehicles as well.
Yep, I've heard that going on as well. Yeah,
we could probably do a whole show on just real estate alone, so we'll make a note of that. But what I want to ask you before we switch back over to the boys at M&O is that you have been on our show as an improv comedian. You've been on the premise, just kicking ass and being a complete delight. While you're home, I have to think that comedically. Your mind has also raced to some interesting things and thoughts, comedically speaking. I mean, if you were to go on stage, say tomorrow, from an improvisational point of view, and would you be able just to riff eternally on the last 8 weeks that we've been quarantined and staying at home?
Well, I was socially distancing in comedy before it was cool. I could walk a room in a heartbeat. But I did see a guy. I don't know if you saw this. It was all over social media. The guy in the Klan hood at the grocery store. Instead of a mask and my first thought was I didn't realize you could purchase ignorance with food stamps.
Shit.
And when did they start carrying that at Costco?
It's section 13.
Yeah, it's section 13. Yeah. But it's hard to find humor in this. But you'd go nuts if you start. I see people posting stuff about how they're down, and the one thing we got to do is just keep our spirits up, and realize that there's going to be light at the end of the tunnel, and we just got to kind of move forward, because we're all in the same boat.
Which brings me to a question, and a lot of people that are actually tuning in right now and watching on Facebook Live. I don't mean to besmirch the message at all, but are we tiring of the cliches? Are we tiring? All the things that are sincerely important to say. We're all in this together, together but apart. Stay safe, stay healthy. Have they lost their resonance?
Yeah. If you own an AR-15, if you own an AR-15 and you're protesting on Amy Acton's lawn, apparently it's not resonating with those folks,
right?
But I don't know. The thing is, we all want what's best for society. I would hope, So we are all in this together. This virus doesn't, pick a certain party or a certain race or religion. It doesn't discriminate. It's a virus, and it can happen to any of us. And I tell you what, after talking to my wife's family in New York City, who are firefighters and paramedics,
Right.
and the devastation of what that city's gone through.
Well, my daughter in New York as well. Yeah.
It's kind of harrowing to see pictures of Park Avenue and there's nobody on the streets in New York City.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they're taking it serious. But, you know, here in these rural areas where we're kind of more spread out, it doesn't seem to be, not everyone here knows somebody affected, you know? So it hasn't hit us personally as much as it has, I think, people in other areas of the country.
So what are you doing at home to keep your spirits up?
Netflix. Watching a ton of series and stupid shit. And have you watched the Tiger Fucker or Tiger?
I have not watched Tiger Fucker. No. I have watched Tiger King. Tiger Fucker. Tiger Fucker might be something that, you know, I might.
He wasn't doing something with those tigers. I got a bad feeling about that guy.
And we just found out that Nicolas Cage is going to actually play him in the series that they're going to make. Nicolas Cage is going to play Joe Exotic in an 8-part series. It's be the first time he's done television. So there's a couple series that are being about the Tiger King, but
he's already got the outfits.
But Tiger, no shit, right, Hansberry?
Right. Yeah.
But Tiger Fucker might be something that people could stream for a couple episodes.
I
think people, you know, start getting your heads together. Let's get a script together. Does anybody else find the irony in Nick Cage being Tiger King guy? Yeah. All right. It's just me.
I just see him wanting to change the character on some level, you know. Yeah. Can I make him a vampire?
I'm a vampire.
No, you can't.
Vampire.
Can I make him a superhero? No, you can't. Can I make him gay? He's already gay. Oh. Can I make him a gay vampire? I don't know. My daughter says people are still ignorant in New York.
Oh.
There's some areas where some people are following the rules and others aren't. Yeah, that's the part that I can't comprehend, and we're starting to open up things more here in Ohio. So I don't know on what level, Jeff, do you worry about your livelihood? I mean, comedically, you always say that you jump at the chance to do anything. You join us up on stage whenever you can, but that's not your bread and butter right now. What you do for a living as a real estate agent is your bread and butter, and what your wife Kathy does as a hairstylist is her bread and butter. And both of those, one on your level is not out of the water, but it's compromised. But she's, until the governor says it's okay to get a haircut, you know, she's been out of work for the last 2 months.
Well, so. Yeah, and I tell you, it's been hell too, trying to navigate this system that they have in place for these small business loans. Of course, the first batch of money went real quick to, unfortunately, a lot of people who didn't deserve small business loans. And so she was cut out of that. Looks as though she might get into the next round. We still haven't received any money there. So she actually, her clientele have been really great. They've got the clientele of her salon at Texture on Fifth. They did a GoFundMe page where they raised a good amount of money that can keep the doors, closed, yet the business open.
Right, I got you. No, I get it.
Months, but we can't rely on just charity of everyone. You know, you've got to at some point be able to access the things that the government has in store for us too. Some people like us who are self-employed weren't able to file for unemployment either. You know. So they've changed that.
They've changed that as well.
Yeah, it's going to change here pretty soon, apparently, from what I gather. But so you're living off your savings, and fortunately, we didn't invest all of it into a distillery. You guys having some
Which-
mash for dinner tonight?
Which is a Which-
Yeah.
I'm kind of hungry.
Yeah. I'll send a pizza over.
which is a beautiful segue back to the boys. Jeff Gage, just slide on down the virtual couch for a second. Jeff Gage, everybody, who we love on a regular basis and hope to have him back live with the premise,
third quarter numbers.
which we'll be back at Shadowbox Live. That's a beautiful segue. Back to the boys at M&O. If you're just joining us in the middle of this podcast, Doug McLaughlin and Mike Orozco are with us, the co-owners and founders of M&O Spirits in Asheville, Ohio, just a stone's throw away from the Circleville Pumpkin Show. And I guess that's why one of the bottles you had was the pumpkin spice. Was that an homage, if you will, to the Circleville Pumpkin Show?
Our original location was going to be in Circleville, and then the building got sold from out from under us. So we ended up going a little bit north into Asheville. I had actually produced the pumpkin spice for the mayor to have something for the pumpkin show. So it was intended, but we're still in the same county. This is all good.
It's all good. All right, so let's talk about this.
Oh yes.
This is something that is not available yet, correct?
Not yet. October 1st, that will be available in agencies. We have an experimental barrel 000 that we're trying to get approved for July 1st, just out of the distillery. But the rest of it's going to be available October 1st in the agencies.
123 proof. This is the M&O Black. Is there anything you can tell us about it without doing a spoiler alert?
Now, first thing is what you have is directly from the barrel. So
right from the barrel.
I watched him do it.
The bottle is going to be at 90 proof. So we don't have enough barrels yet to be able to provide a cask strength yet, but we're looking into that eventually down the road. But
so when this comes out in October, to be what proof?
90.
90. Right now, what I'm drinking here is 123.
Correct.
Yes.
And this is the sample that I funneled in from the bottle that John gave me. So as you can see, let me see. It's a little bottle called Dino's Drippins, which sadly may mean something else in the next couple of years. But for now, I'm going to take another sip of this.
Are you enjoying the black?
I got to tell you, this for sale is wonderful. Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
This is going to kick some ass when it gets on the market.
Oh, it's really good. It's really good.
This is really, really good. I'll be curious to see and taste what it's like at 90, because at 123 proof, this has an amazing finish.
Mm-hmm.
It's very smooth going in.
Mm-hmm.
It's got a great nose. And I just took that swig about 30 seconds ago.
Yeah.
And I can still taste it. I can still feel it. Not in a burn way, just in a tasteful way. So it's got a nice long finish, which I love in any type of whiskey or bourbon that I drink. I love a nice long finish, and this has a much longer finish than this one, which is 100 proof. So interesting. So I don't know what you did differently here, but
surprisingly, we use the same bourbon mash for both smoke and black. The black is distilled 3 times. Smoke is distilled twice. The aging process is a little different on the black, where we age it in a new charred oak barrel for 1 year. And at the 1 year mark, we add 10 water soaked staves back into that barrel. So we double oak it at 1 year. And then we age it until it's right, and then we're going to bottle it.
And that'll be available in October.
Yeah, that'll be October 1st. It'll be in the agencies.
Some of my friends are asking if that don't live here in Central Ohio, how can they order the M&O whiskey online? Is that possible
Ohio
or not?
Does not allow us to do anything.
No, I didn't think so.
online with-
No, they cannot. No, I knew the answer to that. I knew the answer to that. You can't do it online. It's against the law. Sorry, Paul, you can't do it. But this, Jamie says, Dino, you look like you're in love. Well, I got to tell you, I'm a little smitten right now, at the very least.
This is really good stuff, man. I mean, when
product.
yeah,
We're excited about it.
yeah.
Can't wait to get it out.
This is what I meant, Dino, when I said I think these guys are doing some really good work down there.
Well,
good stuff.
The bottle of smoke that we had as the guest bottle is an indication of they are doing some good work. This is an example. This is like, it's almost like I gave you a homework assignment and said, okay, your smoke was very good. Now, if you could go back and improve upon that, what would you do? And this would be your A+ right here coming up in October. This is an A+.
Yes.
A+.
So for
good.
all the kids out there doing homeschooling,
That's right.
Yeah,
on Zoom, homework
Yeah.
pays off.
All right, so collectively, Jeff, you're still with us.
Yep.
Doug, Mike, you're still with us.
Yep.
As we and also John Whitney and Greg Hansberry as well. None of us collectively have any idea how much longer we're going to have to deal with our situations there. Even when things start to open up a little bit and things get a little more lax, we're still going to have to deal with what some people are saying is the second wave, and stay at home distancing will continue as in this month till May 29th. And I'm asking this individually of all of us, my boys, John, Greg, Jeff, Doug, Mike.
Do you have another one?
Emotionally,
No.
Are you prepared?
Oh shit!
There's a cable.
I think I did something wrong.
What did John do wrong?
There was like an echo, and I thought it was coming from the phone that was sitting on somebody's lap, and I think they were using that as their speaker.
Yeah,
and I kicked them off. He's going to have to log back in.
I can still see Doug.
But Doug can't hear us.
We're it's getting pretty choppy. The audio is getting pretty choppy. For
Is he back on?
We're trying to.
All right, these are the beauties of
what's going on.
doing things live.
It's live.
So can you
All
hear
right.
us at all, or no? Oh well. No, here we go.
Can Doug hear me? Can Jeff hear me?
Yeah.
All right, so I'll bring the question back to the boys. Johnny, are they done? Are they out?
No,
we get him back on?
I don't know. Can you hear us at all,
Doug, can you hear me? Can you hear me, Doug? Can you hear me,
a
Mike?
little bit.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Did you hear the question that I asked earlier before we went kaput?
Yeah.
You did?
No.
No.
Moving forward, are you guys all emotionally prepared on some level to deal with whatever might come next? Jeff Gage?
Yeah. I
Yeah.
you it's either that or blow your brains out. So not ready for that yet. So yeah, you take life as it comes every day.
Okay.
So we'll just have to deal with whatever we're. Dino, you play the hand you're dealt.
Put it in poker terms? Yeah. Right?
Exactly. Yep.
which is what I've been dealing with on a daily basis. I deal the hand that I've been dealt. As far as the day-to-day goes, I find in hindsight that maybe I am built for isolation. I get to some points. Where my friends go, "Oh man, it'll be so great when we can all get back together again and hang out in the same bar and talk for hours on end." And there's a part of me that says, "Yeah," and there's a part of me that goes like, "Will it? Will it be good?"
I know, right? I got to get in the car. I got to park.
Will it really be good? I'm not just sure. And then the other thing too, if we go back to our bars and they do the safe distancing and stools have to be 6 feet apart from each other, is this how a conversation is going to go?
What?
What'd you do yesterday? Are we going to be screaming at each other? Because you're not going to be able to have those intimate, close conversations. I mean, obviously, Doug and Mike, obviously, you guys are okay. You're sitting right next to each other. Bo.
They've already broken the seal.
You've broken the seal. You're good. So Jeff, you're going to be okay. You're going to move on. You're not going to blow your brains out. John Whitney, you're not back to actually going into the office yet, right?
No, but I think in the next couple of weeks we'll be going in every once in a while for any video shoots we need to do, and we have some projects that are happening, so they actually have to be delivered in June. So we're trying to figure out how to do that, and it's difficult, man, to do projects when it's all phone calls and Zoom meetings, and it's just I'm done. I just want to go. It is.
You want to go back?
Yeah, because there's parts of projects where you have to deal with people that are the subject matter experts, and it's easier just to do a little drive-by in their office to go, "Hey, what did you mean by this?" It's so much easier that way to produce videos that way, and I just miss getting in the car and listening to Mark Maron on the way to work and just relaxing and drinking my coffee for 25 minutes too. It's just, I'm done. I want to go back to work, man.
I have one more follow-up question after I get done with everybody. Hansberry, I know that you're actually still going into the studios. You guys are actually still going in and doing your thing. So
yeah, so my daily routine hasn't changed in that much in terms of work, but I got a lot of shit for the skateboarding thing, obviously, but those are the things that I have to like kind of find my fun in, is when it's a nice day and I could go ride the skateboard and the bike with the kid to the ballpark or whatever, or else we're just sitting here watching TV all damn day. So I think kind of a combination of what everybody's saying. You got to deal with what's with the cards that are dealt you, man, and have a little whiskey along the way and wear a helmet.
And to our friends from M&O, like I said, you got into this game just a couple of years ago, and the last couple of months have been a hard blow, and looking forward to the next 6 to 9 months, it has to rattle your brain a little bit as to where things are going to go, and have you mentally and financially prepared to move forward?
With financially, we're so young. We're trying to just survive at this point.
Right.
We're at this point, marketing's a little bit tricky, so we're trying to our best effort is to trying to get into more agencies so that we're more visible on the shelf, so that more people can have access to our product. That would help us the most. At this point, we're still putting our own money back into it to keep it moving. So we're going to keep at it. We're not going to quit because of this. We need to keep going. We've got some good products, and I'm proud of it, and I think we can keep moving forward.
As well, you should be. Well, you should be proud of them. They're very tasty. They're actually delicious, especially the one that's coming up in October. That one really tickled my whiskey fancy, as it were. But the smoke is great too, and you have other great products as well that people should try. So I mentioned a couple places. I will reiterate again, Chateau Spirits in Polaris Parkway, Wylands right here in Clintonville is carrying the M&O, Giant Eagle in Grandview. Those are the three that I frequent on a regular basis that I'm aware of. There's some other ones in Central Ohio as well. So just when you go to your local agency, if they don't have some M&O Spirits, say, why not? And get our boys in Asheville on the shelf, because shelf space is a very valuable space right now as far as your product goes. So we hope that we can do our part here on Whiskey Business to help move that along a little bit. So congratulations and continued success, gentlemen. I really appreciate you being with us tonight.
Thank you so much.
No, I appreciate it. Thank you so much. And I can't wait to come down there in person and actually share some stuff too. Actually, hopefully by freaking October, things will be back to some sort of normalcy. And I can actually, when you guys release this for real, maybe a Whiskey Business can come down there for the debut.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
Road trip.
That would be nice.
Do it behind the bottle or something.
We'll do a behind the bottle. Here's how I'll incorporate this whole podcast. We'll come and do a behind the bottle for the black, right?
Mhm.
We'll bring Jeff, and Jeff will show me some commercial real estate in Asheville.
There you go. Make a day of it.
To make a day of it. Then I can actually, So if the second wave comes in the late fall, Jeff will have a cabin for me somewhere in Asheville where I can finally snap and write my manifesto.
You got it all figured out.
Right?
All of a sudden,
That's
Dino's going
it.
to be living in the Rick house.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
Who's the homeless
Hey,
man back
hey,
there
trust
between the
me.
barrels?
Trust me, financially speaking, I'm in no better shape than any of you. So yeah, the Rick House could be, just an air mattress in the Rick House. I could do that. The new M&O bottle is going to be called Black, John Osbeck. Black, like my heart.
That's right.
All right, so we're gonna start wrapping things up here tonight. I want to thank our guests from M&O Spirits, Doug McLaughlin and Mike Orozco, for being with us, gentlemen. Again, let me just reiterate it and say again, continued success. God bless. You are on the right path with your whiskeys, and we wish you nothing but the best. So good luck to you. Thank you so much. To our buddy, and also, I don't know how much money you spent on the shirts, but God damn it, well worth it.
Damn.
Well worth it. Well worth it. Even if there's only two of them.
There are only two.
There are only two.
They don't have bags.
Well done.
They're nice.
Yeah.
Jeff Gage, let me just, where's Jeff at? Where's Jeff?
Oh, do we lose Jeff? There he is.
Here I am.
Hey, buddy.
There he is.
I was like, felt like I was on the Brady Bunch. Hey, all right.
To Jeff Gage.
It's the black. It's 123 flower.
Buy it.
To Jeff Gage, I just want to say sincerely, I've said this when we were down at Shadowbox. You are truly, on a day-to-day basis, one of the funniest people that I know. We've been friends for, 30 years now, at least?
Yeah, at least.
At least.
Jeez.
And you still make me laugh. You made me laugh from the minute you came on the podcast tonight, and you always continue to make me laugh. We look forward to having you on future installments of The Premise or Whiskey, but you stepped up tonight and just decided to join us to talk about whatever. And I had no agenda with you. I really didn't. I just wanted Jeff Gage. I just wanted the essence of Gage on the podcast tonight to kind of spread some humor and joy, and some insightfulness too, because you're a very smart guy. You're a very intelligent guy. And, I appreciate and respect what you have to say about our current situation. And the fact that you lace it with humor is all the better. So thank you, buddy, for being with us tonight. I sincerely appreciate it. I really appreciate it. Also to Greg Hansberry, dude, stay the fuck off a skateboard.
Thanks for my award.
You're welcome.
There it is.
Hansberry, winner of the first, stay-at-home mistake award of the week. It actually trumped mine today. I had one today.
Yeah, you're acting like it's all me. What was yours?
Honestly, I had a pound of use it or lose it bacon in the refrigerator today, and I used it, which is fine, but I also ate it. I ate it all of it. 1 pound of bacon, like in an hour. Stupid.
Wow.
Yeah. And let me tell you what, it is delicious.
You get some staples in the heart for that one.
Right. Yeah, that was my stay-at-home mistake of the day. I don't know about the week.
All right, let me do the business.
Wait. Let me finish.
Oh, all right. Okay.
John Whitney.
Yeah.
John Whitney.
What?
Thank you. Just thank you, man.
Oh, thanks. Man.
Hansberry takes care of all the audio stuff. He's been infirmed. So is our audio version of the podcast up yet?
Yeah, it's up.
Yep.
It's up. Whitney had the YouTube version from last week with the girls from Red Tent Revival, which was
Tickles and Pokes.
Tickles and Pokes. Yeah, Zal Unit and Julia O'Keefe is up for you to listen to. Tomorrow is Wednesday. A new Whiskey Wisdom will be up from John Whitney.
Oh shit! I gotta do that.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah,
You do. Another Whiskey Wisdom.
I got one ready to go. I just have to upload
Been
it.
responding. So Hansberry, do the business before I do the official goodbye. Go ahead.
Fair enough. MOspirits.com for our buddies down there in Nashville. Whiskeybusinesspod.com. Subscribe in your favorite podcasting app. Rate and review us. If you're watching on YouTube, thank you very much. Subscribe and click on the little bell icon, and that will let you will notify you whenever we post a new video. Same thing with Facebook. Please share, invite friends to like us, etc., etc. Instagram, Twitter. I think that's it. TikTok, Disney Plus. I don't know.
Hulu. Yeah. Is there any way we can get involved in a package deal? Some of the late comments out tonight. I don't know if Sarah says Pub Out Back had a few bottles. I don't know if she's talking about M&O Spirits. But if they do, all the better. A lot of people were happy to see Jeff Gage on there. Ralph Scott being one of them. Love me some Jeff Gage.
Yeah.
And a little slight to you there, John Whitney.
What? Oh yeah. I saw that.
Yeah, don't let your video producer drink during the podcast. I disagree. I would have it no other way than my boys to drink during the podcast.
You know what? I'm not really that. I'm not drunk at all. I'm barely buzzed.
Yeah. You know how many times
I'm working on it.
You know how many times I've heard that over the course of the last 4 years? I'm not drunk. I'm good. I'm
not falling off park benches. So I got
that. That's you. Oh, wait a minute. I never fell off. You fell off a park bench.
That's what I'm saying. I'm not.
I don't remember falling off a park bench. Yeah.
That was me.
I'm not going to say anything because the minute I say something bad's going to happen to me that you guys will be able to shame me for forever and a day. Right now, I prefer to hold all the cards and shame both of you on a regular. There we go. Hansberry. You just make it so easy. Dude, stay safe. You know I love you. You're the son I never wanted. So please stay that way and take care of yourself. All right, we're going to wrap things up officially. I am Dino Tripodis. This is Whiskey Business, a Never the Luck production, produced on the video side by the always capable, and even if he's drinking, John Whitney. There he is. Produced on the audio side by the son I never wanted, but I consider him to be one nonetheless, and I worry about you, fucker. Greg Hansberry. I want to thank our guest, the incomparable, always funny, entertaining Jeff Gage, ladies and gentlemen, by his houses, and of course from M&O Spirits, Doug McLaughlin and Mike Orozco. Yeah, buy their products, visit their distillery. All right, and so my friends, until the next bottle. See ya.